All right, you guys, welcome. We are so happy to have you here and to be able to share all of this with you. Today, you're going to hear from myself and Alex, and we're going to take you through our top 5 mindset tips that we have learned along this way. And we will be sharing book recommendations with you. And there's also the chat there that you can use if you have a question along the way. We're not going to stop as we're sharing, but we will monitor the chat as well. And make sure you stick around to the end because we have something to share with you. So myself and Alex, you probably know this already. Maybe you follow us on social media, but if you are new here or you referred here from a friend, Alex and I both run online fitness challenges. We're online health and wellness coaches. We have been doing this now for 5 years, which is crazy. And I think it's important to note that 5 years ago, you wouldn't have seen us sitting here sharing our stories and sharing the things that we have learned to help us get to where we are today. So that's always something I always bring up. Like, don't compare your day 1 to our day 4060. So for myself, I'm a mom of 2 boys. I have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old. I'm married. I live in Nova Scotia, Canada. It's funny because I spoke to somebody yesterday and she's like, I don't even know where that is. So we're like on the far east coast of Canada. And I didn't grow up thinking I was going to be running online health and fitness challenges. I have a biology degree. I then went and worked in the corporate world. I couldn't find a job in my field. I worked in the corporate world for about 7 years. And I remember sitting at my desk, I just got goosebumps. I remember sitting at my desk one day and I was like, you know what? Like, I had a lot of debt, a lot of debt. And it really stressed me out. And I had a job that I wasn't passionate about at all. And I was going through the motions every week. I would dread Mondays. I just had nothing for me. And I remember saying to myself, like, this is it. Like, I should be grateful I have a job. Everyone lives with debt. And like, I remember telling myself that I should settle and that's what people do. And which is crazy now, because if I compare where I am now to where I was, it's like a complete 180. And I had an opportunity present itself and I took it because I knew I needed to change something. And I had all the fears, and we're going to talk about fears today. I had all the fears, like fearful of putting myself out there, of failing, of no one joining me. Like, I wasn't someone who was super fit or crushing a fitness journey, but I knew I needed something and I did it anyway. So we're going to share those tips with you today. And Alex is going to take a minute just to share a little bit about her story too before we jump in.
Hey guys, so my name is Alexandra and I live in Ottawa, Canada, and I am a mom of 2 teenagers, almost 14-year-old and a 16-year-old. And so for me, my story is very similar to Lindsay's. Worked in the corporate world my whole life, in a job that just no longer served me, working in travel. And with COVID, that has actually come to an end. Nobody's traveling right now. And so 5 years ago, I just really felt like I was drowning in mom life and just didn't really have anything for me outside of that. No passion for life, really. And so super shy, no confidence whatsoever. And so if you had asked me 5 years ago if I would be hosting this call, I would have said hell no. But here I am. And so it just goes to show you that if you put your mind to something and decide you want to go for it, you can do anything. So that's it.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so we're going to jump right in. We have, the way this is going to work today is we're going to share 5 tips or thoughts with you. And every tip that we share is going to have a book that goes with it. So if one of these 5 tips really speaks to you, or you're like, that's me and that's something I really struggle with, then we will let you know what book we're going to recommend for you, because we really wanted you to be able to come today and get something out of this and something that you can put into action, whether, like, no matter what it is that you're thinking about doing or wanting to do or wanting to work on. So we're just going to jump right in. So tip number 1 that I have for you guys is, and this will relate to health and fitness. Not everything we're going to talk about, like, this will relate to anything, but I'll talk about the health and fitness part because a lot of you follow us for that. is to start small. Like, so many people get started on their journeys or on this thing that they want to accomplish, and it's like, I can't do it unless I have the all-in mentality. I can't do it if I can't do everything perfect. I can't do it if like all the stars aren't aligned. Then no, I can't do it right now. So when you start, especially on like your health and fitness journey, you don't need to do an overhaul of your life. Like, no one's telling you you have to start today and like know your new nutrition plan, crush every workout and be able to do them all, show up perfectly. Like, it's not a sprint. Like, it's a journey. And a lot of times when you're setting goals, whether it's for something else, like a lot of times you look at that end goal and that's all you focus on, when in reality you have to break it down. So you have to take it like one day at a time, one meal at a time. Use a habit tracker. So Alex is actually going to drop a habit tracker that we have. You can go into the chat. It's at the bottom if you're on the computer. If you're on your phone, I'm not sure how to access the chat. But you can reach out to us after. But use a habit tracker. Like, pick 2 things that you want to work on this week and work at being consistent on those. It doesn't need to be everything, okay? And whatever that goal is that you want to hit, or the business that you want to build, or whatever area you're in, I want you, instead of thinking about the goal and all of the actions that it's going to take you to get there, I want you to ask yourself, how would I feel and how would I wake up if I was already at that goal? I got goosebumps. So for me, like, as I build my business or my fitness journey, because I've been having an incredible fitness journey this year, and I literally woke up January 1st and I was like, how can I be a champion in what I do? And how would that person wake up every day? And how would they feel? And how would they hold themselves? And like, how would they talk to themselves? Like, I have on my mirror, I can, I am, I will, I do. As I work out every day, I'm like, that's me. I can do it. The words that you say to yourself are so important. So instead of thinking about all the things you have to do to get to that end goal, I want you to think about how you need to feel to become what you need to become to be there, instead of all the things you need to do. So your tip number 1 is to start small, but then also for your mindset, just ask yourself how you would show up today to be who you need to be. So that is tip number 1. And also, you will fall down, you will fail, you will get off course, and that is life. Like I said, it's not about being perfect, but it's about recognizing when that happens and steering your ship back to being on par with what it is that you want to accomplish. Feeling guilt and like shame is pointless. Like, you're worth so much more than that. So just own it and then just keep going. Okay. No one benefits if you stop. So that is tip number 1. And my book recommendation for you, if that tip or that part speaks to you, I actually have 2. I'm throwing another one in there. Sorry. Finish by Jon Acuff. Yes, Finish. And it honestly talks about how goal setting actually is crap. It's a great book. It talks about your fitness journey too, but it just talks about procrastination, getting things done. It's really, really good. And the second one, because I talked a little bit about your fitness journey and having that like champion's mindset, is the Champion's Mind. It's more about sports and stuff, but it's really about just waking up and the words and affirmations that you just say to yourself to live your best life. So that's tip number 1. Alex is going to do tip number 2.
Okay, and at the end, guys, we are going to give you a list of all the books, so don't worry about that. So number 2 is to get inspired. I want you guys to raise your hand right now if you follow someone on social media or someone in your life that makes you feel like crap. Yeah, don't we all? So with COVID especially, this last year, I think everybody is on social media probably a little bit more than they normally are, more time on their hands, they're at home. I want you to think about and take note of who is filling up your newsfeed. Is it negative? Does it leave you feeling not good enough? Does it make you compare yourself? Does it leave you envious or jealous? Like, how is it making you feel? I know it's hard when it's like not just social media, but if it's family and friends. I want you just to think about that. How are the people that you surround yourself with, the circle that you have, whether it's in real life or on social media, how are they making you feel? And I want to give you permission right now to unfollow. I know it's hard when it's family, but to unfollow anybody who doesn't serve you or doesn't inspire you. Okay? I want to say that before I started my journey as a coach, my newsfeed was filled with so much negativity. I would rarely go on my social media actually. And when I did, I would be like, oh God, here she goes again. People airing their dirty laundry. It was just always negative. And with COVID, how many people are like down in the dumps and feeling bad and depressed and mad? Guys, I don't see any of that on my social media. I don't see any of it. I don't know if you guys do, but I don't see any of it because I have chosen to follow and to surround myself with people who are positive. And a lot of that has to do with the community that I'm with coaching and with my fitness journey. But really think about the people that you are surrounding yourself with. And if you do follow people, I want you to follow people who inspire you, who make you feel like you want to do and be better, who encourage you and support you and empower you. Like, those are the people that you want to be like, if she can do it, I can do it, and I'm going to do it. Not to be with people who make you feel like crap every day and make you walk away from your social media and be like, like, it's not worth it. Okay? So make the decision to block out the negativity and let the positivity flow in and see how much better that you feel. Like I said, through COVID, so many people have felt disconnected and alone. And through COVID, I have never felt that. Yes, of course, I felt like, shit, I need to get out of my house. But I have never felt disconnected. And that is because of the people that I've surrounded myself with in my coaching community and in my fitness journey, my boot camp, the ladies that I'm, connected with every single day. I felt supported and I felt motivated, and I have really not felt disconnected whatsoever. So that's it for Get Inspired. So go get inspired. My book recommendation, actually, I have a podcast recommendation, is the Straight Up podcast by Trent Shelton. If you don't follow him, you need to. He's amazing. Anytime you are in the car alone and you have an opportunity, put on some Trent Shelton. He will fire you up. So that is Straight Up Trent Shelton. And my book recommendation is The School of Greatness. It's a real world. I don't actually have the book, Lindsay. Do you have it there? You could show it. Okay. The School of Greatness, real world guide to living bigger, loving deeper, and leaving a legacy.
Amazing. I was just typing, I'm going to try to type the books in the chat, you guys, as we share them. So if you don't catch them, you will be able to jot them down. And there's another podcast. Man, if you need mindset podcasts or like book recommendations, anyone on our team has got your back. Like we love all of that, which is so funny because 6 years ago, none of us probably listened to any of it. Okay, so tip number 3 is build your confidence. And you might think like, I'm not confident. I could never do what you do. Or like Alex said, maybe you're looking at people and you're like, oh, like I actually did a post on this the other day. Like, how do you, other people's success, how do you react? Like, are you like, oh, why them, not me? Or are you like, yes, if they can do it, that means I can do it. And that comes with confidence and self-esteem in yourself. And I think when you're sitting there and like the words in your head and everything they're going through and you're like, yeah, but I'm not like that. honestly, the only difference, because we all started at day one, the only difference between maybe them that you're watching and you is that they pulled the trigger, is that they started. Because like we all have fears. Like when I started with coaching, I didn't know what I was doing. Like I said, I wasn't super into health and wellness. And now it's like, I love it. I'm so passionate about it. But I just saw all of these other people seeing success, and every single one of them were different. So there was no like cookie cutter coach. Everybody talked different. Everybody looked different. And I was like, okay, if they can do it, then I can do it. And the biggest way, if you want to start building your confidence and building your self-esteem, is to do the things and do what you said you were going to do. So when you get that habit tracker out, start with those small attainable goals and do them. But share those, like hold yourself accountable by sharing what those things are with other people. Tell your family what's important to you and what you want to accomplish. Tell your friends, find a circle, like Alex said, like the people in your circle that want to see you succeed and support you. Find those people and let them know what it is you want to work towards. And I always, like if you work in the corporate world, I don't know why I always use this example, but if you work in the corporate world and somebody like a manager is like, hey, I need this done by whatever time. And you're like, yeah, I'll email it to you. And then you don't do it. And then you're like late with the email. And then you're in your head and you're like, oh, I didn't send that email. Oh, like, and then it gets too far past and you're like, well, I'm not going to send it now. And you're like, well, now I feel like you lose that self-esteem in yourself. And you have to do the things that you said that you were going to do. And honestly, that's the way you build your confidence. And you will never know until you start doing the things. And that's where the next point comes in, is that it's not motivation over momentum. Like I talk to so many people and they're like, I just need to get motivated. And I'm like, if you are waiting for motivation, you will be waiting for a long time. Because motivation isn't something that just springs up. Motivation is created when you build momentum, when you start doing things over and over. Like think, for those of you that have been on your fitness journeys, like for me, it took me probably a year before I really loved working out. But I publicly shared my things and like I gave myself that accountability. So before, I like didn't want to work out. I wasn't motivated to do it. And now I feel bad when I don't work out. Like it flips, and you have to build that momentum. And sometimes that's hard, but you gotta share what you want to do with other people. If you struggle with that part, you just have to pull that trigger. And we're going to talk about, in point number 5, we'll talk a little bit more about that. But really, it's just work on building your confidence, and do that by sharing what you're going to do with other people. Because we are so good at keeping promises to other people. I guarantee every single one of you are like, you have a promise with your friend. If you break that promise, I bet you feel bad. Like, I bet you are like, oh my God, I can't believe I can't do that with her. She like, I feel so bad. She's going to like feel down. And I bet you break promises to yourself every day and you don't think twice about it. That has to change. If you are talking to your friends and she's struggling with something, you give her a pep talk, but you don't give yourself a pep talk, right? Those are the little things that will make a difference with your mindset, with your everyday life. Is just putting yourself first and like building that momentum. So our book, I have so many notes here. My book for that is You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. So that's to help you with building that confidence and realizing that, damn it, like you're worth it, but it's taking the action to do the things. Okay, Alex, your turn.
You Are a Badass was actually the very first personal development I read when I started my journey, my health and fitness journey, and it was a game changer. So that's awesome. Okay, number 4 is seeing the bigger picture. I want you to ask yourself, how will what you do affect other people? When you start working on your goal first, think about how many people you could be motivating or inspiring too. It's a ripple effect, guys. You have no idea what kind of impact you can have on other people just by showing up for yourself first and taking care of yourself. If you watch Lindsay and I on our social media, sharing our health and fitness, we are inspiring people by doing that. And you may think, I can't inspire other people by doing that, but I'm telling you, 5 years later, the best part of what I do personally is not when somebody joins me, is when somebody messages me and said, because of you, I went for a walk today. Because you shared your water bottle, drinking, setting a goal for yourself for drinking 150 ounces today, I drank more water today. Or because I saw you share a healthy recipe on your Facebook today, I decided that I was going to make a healthy recipe meal for my family today. Like, those messages mean everything to me, because it just shows that by showing that you are taking care of yourself first, you make an impact. You make an impact on your friends. You make an impact on your children. Guys, when I first started working out at home, I had my son rollerblading around me, doing circles around me. That's being a role model, because they're watching what you're doing. So you may think, oh God, I can't work out at home because my kids are around, they're gonna drive me crazy. No, they're watching you. They're learning from you. And so stop being selfish. Stop thinking about just yourself. Think about all the people that by you making that decision to become healthy or fit or just go after a goal, not just health and fitness related, I'm talking about everything in life. When you decide to go after what you want, you make an impact, because you are showing somebody else that you're worth it. I just said here, like, being a role model for your kids, for me, it was about showing that mom that she can do hard things, that she can make time for herself, and that it's not selfish. For me, I get goosebumps thinking about this, because for me, 5 years ago, I never made time for myself, ever. I felt guilty. I felt guilty going to the gym. I felt guilty leaving my kids. I felt guilty doing anything that wasn't wife-related, mom-related, everything. And when I started to put my own goals to create my own business for myself and to work on my own health and fitness, I proved not only to myself, but to other people that they could do it too. So that is number 4. See the bigger picture. It's not just about you, okay? Number 4 book. I forget, Lindsay. Is it Daring Greatly?
No, that's number 5.
Oh,
you
Big
guys,
Magic.
We are just 2 regular people here.
Big Magic?
Yes.
Big Magic. Elizabeth Gilbert, Big Magic, Creating Living Beyond Fear. There's that fear word again.
I'm not gonna lie, I actually got a little emotional there, because when Alex started, I have to say this, when Alex started coaching with me and joined me 5 years ago, she would shake and cry at the thought of a video. I'm not kidding. She said she was shy. She was so shy, but she did it and she got uncomfortable. And that's you have to get uncomfortable to grow into the next level, to get to the next place you want. Just like if you want to build muscle in your fitness journey, you have to stress your muscles in order for them to grow. You have to do the same thing, or else you keep staying in the same spot. And it's that, I heard it the other day, it's evolve or repeat. So if you're good and you're happy and you feel like you're living the life that you want, amazing, but you're here for a reason. And you have the choice to evolve and change something. Okay, so number 5 is, I want you to Okay, so I want you to think, if time and money were of no issue, where would your life be? What would you be doing? Have you ever even thought about that? I feel like now, the person I am today, I live a completely different, not life, like I have the same life, but like in my mind, like I am just so grateful for so many things, and I see life differently, and I see opportunity and possibilities. And I just ask you, like, we don't dream anymore. Like, when I was not feeling fulfilled, I didn't think about any of this, of what is possible. When I first started as a coach, you hear vision boards and stuff all the time, but when I started as a coach, I had the simplest things on my vision board. And one of them was fresh flowers on a table in a kitchen, because I couldn't afford to have fresh flowers in my house. Like, I didn't have any extra money to buy fresh flowers. And I know that might seem so simple. It was also a picture of a family of 4 at a restaurant, because I was like, man, I would just love to be able to say, you know what, I don't feel like cooking today. Let's go out as a family and eat dinner. And I wanted to be able to do that without having all of that, like, anxiety and stress. Do I have enough for my bills? We shouldn't do that because we've got mortgage coming out. Like, that's where I was when I started on this journey. And this journey has allowed me to realize that, like, you can have anything you want. But if you're always telling yourself you can't, and like living in that scarcity like mindset, then you're not going to. So I want you today, or whenever, is just to ask yourself, like, if time and money were of no issue, what would your life look like? What would you see? How would you feel? What would be around you? And then ask yourself, like, why can't you have it? What is holding you back from it? Is it just you telling yourself you can't have that because of X, Y, and Z? Whatever. Write that down. Are they fears? And then, like, ask yourself, if there's something on your heart. Maybe it's a business you want to go start, or whatever it is. I know we have all different kinds of people on here with different, like, goals and journeys and everything. But, like, ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? Okay, so for example, my son, um, he is like a homebody, and that's what COVID, I think, has done for a lot of people. Like, he got into the habit of not wanting to do a lot of things. And we're in Nova Scotia, so our restrictions are a little different, but soccer started up. And he said, Hayden, I said, I really want you to play soccer. And he's like, no, I don't want to. And he's the type of, he's the type of kid that doesn't want to do something if he's not going to be good at it. I'm talking about practice over there. So he doesn't want to do something if he's not going to be good at it. And I know that. And I said, Hayden, I said, what is the worst thing that could happen if you go? And he was like, I don't like it. And I was like, and what's the best thing that could happen? I like it. Like, and then I started watching TED Talks with him. There's youth TED Talks that you can watch. And we started watching them. And I said, this was actually a couple days before the soccer conversation. I said, Hayden, do you remember that video we watched where the girl said, or the guy said, it was a kid, he was an 8-year-old kid. He's like, I'm not good at that yet. It's a growth mindset. So how do you live your life? Are you like, I'm just not good at that? Or I'm not good at that yet because I have to learn how to do it. Nobody comes into anything knowing how to do everything. And I said to him, I said, do you remember that? Like, that kid was just, I'm not good at it yet. Instant mindset switch for my 8-year-old. He went to soccer. He's gone every week. I could cry. Like, I was so proud of him. I had such a proud mom moment. And that's what Alex said. Like, your mindset and what you choose to do is a ripple effect for the people around you. So ask yourself, like, what is the worst thing that could happen? Talking fears, putting yourself out there. When I started this, and I can speak for anybody on our team, I was like, oh my God, what if I put myself out there? This was 5 years ago, and no one joins me. And like, no one wants to join my first fitness challenge. We have all been there. And I'm like, what's the worst that could happen? what if I start this? What's the worst that can happen? I hate it. I quit. Like, but here I am 5 years later because I took a chance and I did it because I didn't want to live with a what if mentality. So if there is something you have been wanting to do, you guys, you just have to pull the trigger and you just have to start because you will never know until you try it. My book recommendation, we don't have this one, Alex lent it out, I think, but it's Daring Greatly. We'll type it in the chat. Daring Greatly by Brené Brown. Brené, I don't know. She's amazing. And she talks a lot about like guilt and shame and confidence. She's just an incredible speaker. Okay, so we'll do a recap of the points. So number 1 was starting small. Set small goals. Ask yourself how you would show up if you were where you want to be. Okay. Number 2, get inspired. Fuel your mindset. Surround yourself by people that want more. Build your confidence is number 3. Number 4 is like, don't just make it about you. Understand that what you do is a ripple effect for other people. And number 5 is just seeing your vision and overcoming your fears and doing that by pulling the trigger. Okay, so now we have something to share with you. I hope you found that helpful, you guys. Like, we have been on this journey for 5 years and there's been lots of ups and downs, lots of things we have had to learn. And we wouldn't have started this journey had we not been given an opportunity. And honestly, that one opportunity that we said yes to completely changed our lives. And I know it's had an impact on so many other people because we've built fitness communities, we have built teams of coaches that have become some of our best friends on this journey. So we have an opportunity now for you to do just what we did. We have 2 opportunities actually that we're going to share with you. And maybe this is something that was never on your radar, because I can tell you it was never on mine and Alex's radar when we started on this journey. But if we weren't asked, and yeah, if we weren't asked to be here, we wouldn't be here. If our coach, like if I didn't put myself out there and ask Alex, Alex wouldn't be here. So we would be doing a disservice not to do the same for you. So starting on March 8th, we are going to kick off our first New Coach Academy of 2021, where you're going to be able to work with Alex and myself and our team. You'll be able to become a part of our team and be mentored by us one-on-one, where we'll teach you everything we have learned for our business, how we've built it on social media, everything, all the questions you probably have, that's what we are going to share with you. And like I said, maybe it's not something that's been on your radar, but maybe something is tugging at you, feeling like you were meant for more, or there is something out there, or you have untapped potential, or you feel like you're settling. You will never know unless you try. So our New Coach Academy kicks off Monday, March 8th. And for anybody who joins our team between now and Wednesday, we are going to gift you one of the books that we talked about of your choice. So if there is a tip that you really related to, whether that's like the confidence tip that you feel like you need to work on, or your vision, or anything like that, whatever book that is, we are going to gift it to you to start your journey so you can start working on your mindset, you can make an impact, and you can help other people. And what else do I want to say here? If you are new, okay, so if you are new, or you were referred here by a friend and you're like, I don't even know what this coaching thing is, that is okay. So like I said in the beginning, we are health and wellness coaches. We do this online. We are not nutritionists, but you can be, but we are not. We are not nutritionists or personal trainers. We use the tools provided to us for our boot camps and stuff, and we connect with other people and we inspire them and we help them get started on their health and fitness journeys. And the ripple effect that we have had extends across Canada, the US, the UK, and France, and it absolutely blows my mind. We are not salespeople. We lead from the heart. We're authentic. And we honestly just have a goal to help other people live healthy, fulfilling lives. Like it has helped us. So we work on our own health and fitness journeys. We share it and we crush some goals and we have fun. Our team is amazing. Our team has become some of my best friends. And when COVID is done, we're all taking a really big trip. Okay, so that is the coaching side. And maybe that isn't a path for you, or maybe you have something else in mind. Alex is going to share our other option for you today that I think will relate with a lot of you.
Okay, so thank you, Lindsay. So if our coaching academy isn't the right path for you, we would still love to be able to help you with your health and fitness journey. If you are not already part of that, some of you on this call may be already in one of our boot camps, but if you are not, just know that that is an option for you as well. Again, we'll give you all the tools, the workouts that we've been using for the last 5 years. There's so much variety, seriously, something for everyone, no matter what your fitness level, full nutrition support, and us as your coach to help you crush your goals. Because when you feel good, you do good. Write that down. Remember that. When you do good, you feel good. Or sorry, when you feel good, you do good. And both, vice versa. So if this speaks to you and you're ready to get started in our new Coach Academy or our online fitness community, you can get everything that you need for $186 Canadian. Okay, if you are already part of our fitness community and want to get started in our Coach Academy, then speak to the person that invited you here, the coach that shared this with you, and they will share with you what the best option for you is to get started in our Coach Academy. Like Lindsay said, our deadline is Wednesday. However, we do have a special little gift for anyone who enrolls by tomorrow night at midnight. We're not going to share that. It's a little surprise for you, but just know that we have something extra special for you by Sunday night at midnight. So thank you so much, guys. That is all we have for you guys today. We really, really appreciate you coming on a Saturday morning. I know life is busy, especially on the weekends with family, but we appreciate you taking the time to spend this 45 minutes with us. We hope that you walk away with some value, that you're inspired, and it maybe gives you something to think about moving forward in your life and setting your goals. So thank you. We will share, I saw it in the chat, we will share the book recommendations. We will be sending out that to you guys. And just, if you have any questions, Lindsay, did we want to address anything else? Or I haven't been following the chat.
No, I think we're good. I've been following the chat, nothing major. You guys, thank you so much. Like Alex said, I really hope you found this helpful and it just inspires you. If there's that one thing that you have been thinking about doing and you have not pulled the trigger on it, I hope we have inspired you today to take action and just really do something that maybe you never thought you could do, because I think you'll surprise yourself. And that is it.
So we
Can I
can't wait to get
quickly
started.
chime in and ask one question?
Oh, yes.
So sorry, but what do you recommend for listening to audio books?
Oh,
this is something that I have not figured out yet.
So if you want to listen to audiobooks, this is a really good question. When I started, I was working full-time trying to build my business. I had kids. I couldn't sit down and have a solid morning routine like I have now. So I listened to audiobooks while I commuted to work. And I used Audible. So it's called Audible. It's through Amazon, where you can just go to the website, audible.ca or audible.com. Your first audiobook is actually free. Your first 2 audiobooks are actually free right now. And you can listen at like 1.25 times the speed. And honestly, I will listen to something while I am getting ready for like putting on my makeup or I'm cooking dinner. It's just, your mind is a really powerful thing. So when you can pump it full of like good things instead of news, it can change so much in your everyday life. So yeah, Audible, audible.ca or audible.com is where I get my audiobooks. Great question, Claire. All right, you guys, have a great Saturday, and we will be sending out the recording. If you have questions, you know where to find us, and we hope you got something out of that today. Bye, guys.